Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video, I'm just going to be sitting here and chatting with you guys today about starting a YouTube channel, how you start one, if you should start one, all of those types of things. I've had a YouTube channel now for a little over 2 years, and that may not seem like a very long time. It isn't a very long time, and I know there's a ton of creators on this platform that have way more experience with having a YouTube channel than I do. But something that I watched on this platform before I started my channel, shortly before I started my channel, was a video that Annette did from Annette's Makeup Corner. I'm going to try to find that video and link it in my description box. And it was so helpful for me when I was just really thinking seriously about starting a channel. And she really was a big push to get me to start. Also, Steph, not your basic Steph, my best friend and my soul sister, she as my mentor also, and did such an amazing job helping me get started here. Without her help, I don't know that I ever would have started my channel. But I don't know, I just felt like it would be fun to just sit down and share some of my experiences, some of my advice, and maybe some tips about how to start a YouTube channel in case any of you are sitting watching today and thinking, you know what, I really do want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't even know where to start, where to begin. How do I do this? So I just wanted to give you guys just some of my ideas here. Before I get there though, let me talk to you about the eyeshadow palette I have on my lids today. I did use the Saints, Angels, Sinners Kazzy palette. This was sent to me in some PR from Darcy, the owner of Saints, Angels, Sinners. Beautiful palette. Let me show you the color story. It is stunning, so pretty. I use this shade here called Svelte in my, or Svelte. I don't have my glasses on. In my transition area, and then also a little bit on my lower lash line. I use this shade called Mo, horrible. This kind of darker blue, kind of a cobalt blue or cadet blue maybe, in my outer V and in my transition area, and also on my lower lash lines. I use this shade right here called Cute But Psycho as my shimmer shade. It's like this pink but kind of gold, maybe even kind of a green shifting shade. It is beautiful. I just loved creating this look today. And I will be using this again on my channel. I've got a 6-month no-buy, so I'm going to be pulling in a lot of fun palettes to be using. So I will be using this, filming with this at some point on my channel here, probably within the next couple of months. But really happy that Darcy sent this to me in PR. It's a beautiful palette, and I had a blast creating this look today. The first thing that I want to talk about in terms of starting a YouTube channel is figuring out, and this might seem kind of obvious, but figuring out what kind of content you want to film, and also the audience that you want to reach. Do you want to focus on just one thing? Like I primarily just focus on makeup, beauty, eye looks, makeup looks, that sort of thing, talking about makeup. But I do also now do true crime videos once a month. Which might seem kind of confusing to some people. I do think it is maybe a little bit confusing to some people, especially people that maybe came to my channel from watching my true crime, and then they're like, where is the next true crime? And you do makeup? And but it's just something that I have always been very passionate about doing, very interested in doing. It's been really, really fun. So that I might be a little bit different, but I think just figuring out what kind of content you want to have, whether you want to focus on, like I said, just the one thing, whether that be makeup, skincare, fashion, painting, I mean, anything. It doesn't have to be beauty related, underwater basket weaving, whatever it is you want to do. Or if you want to have more of like a lifestyle channel, where you're showing maybe a makeup look in one video and then showing how you store your laundry in another video, like how you fold and arrange your laundry, maybe cooking a meal, maybe going on a shopping spree, like vlogging type stuff. But I think it's important that you, in your description, your about part of your channel, that you describe that very well in that section, so that when people do come to your channel and they do go to the about section, they can see exactly what they're going to get on your channel. And then I think sticking to that content is really important. I also think that figuring out who you want to target. Do you want to target people of your own age? What gender do you want to target? Does it matter? Do you care who's watching your channel? Does it matter what age, what gender, whatever? I think that's important too, just to try to, I don't know, kind of tailor things to the people that you want to reach so that it makes sense to them. I would say that my content is primarily geared to people that are closer to my age, maybe. I talk a lot about my age and how makeup applications have changed maybe for me throughout the years, or how I put makeup on based on my age. I have some fine lines and wrinkles, you know, things like that. But just staying true to what you want to do on your channel and who you want to reach. I think that is very important. Now, something that was very daunting for me before I started my channel was the technological aspect of things, right? And I didn't really know what to do. Like, do I go out and buy a brand new camera that I don't really even know how to use, that's totally intimidating to me? Lighting, where do I sit in my house? You know, all those different things. And what I think is really important is that you start off by using what you already have. I would say that most people have smartphones, and I would also say that most smartphones have really great cameras. And I have used the same phone since I started my channel a little over 2 years ago. I do need to get a new phone because it's starting to, I mean, my phone is a total workhorse. So it's starting to get a little weird, and I've had it for, you know, the 2-year time span is about as long as they last. My husband's phone actually just went belly up last night, so he has to deal with that after work today. Anyway, I digress. But I think not going out and spending a ton of money initially when you start your channel is a good thing. And just using your phone. I know that the back camera is better than the front camera, but I am just not tech savvy enough to figure out how to do that. And Steph, she's tried to show me that a couple times because she does use her back camera. And what she does is she sets her phone up in a holder and then arranges a mirror, kind of tilts the mirror so that she can see herself in the mirror through her phone screen. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I just have never been able to do it. So I do use my front camera. The thing that helps me with that is that because my phone's kind of a generic iPhone, I can't really hook like my laptop into it, plus my laptop and phone aren't compatible. So I don't really have like a viewfinder or like a monitor to see myself in. So I can see myself in my phone screen, but what's really important to me is that I stay staring at the camera so that I'm not, if I look at myself right now, that's totally disorienting because I'm not looking at you. Now I'm looking at you. See what I mean? And when I very first started, I had like a little sticky arrow that I would point right to my camera. So I would focus on that. So it, you know, appears like I'm looking at you, like we're looking at each other in the eye. I don't have to do that anymore because I'm used to knowing where the camera is. But I think those kind of little tips or tricks are really helpful so that, you know, you are looking into your camera when you film and you're connecting with your audience. And if you want to go out and get yourself a brand new camera, go for it. I mean, there's tons of cameras out there. And I do really think at some point, I do really want to get like a real camera. But like I just said, I really think that iPhones, Android phones, whatever, smartphones in general, have great cameras. And then that way you're not going out and spending money on something that, you know, if you don't have a lot of tech experience like I don't, you may not even be able to use once you get it. You know, I think it's just making it as easy for yourself as possible when you first get started. That is really what is key here. As far as lighting goes, I just had one ring light when I very first started. And I also sit in front of a window. And I used to film during broad daylight, you know, towards like the middle of the day. I used to have Mondays off, and that was really primarily when I would film. And if I go back and look at my first several videos, the lighting's not very good. But I don't think that that's super crucial. I really don't. I know that sometimes you might hear creators talk about how lighting is really important, and it is important, but I don't think it's the most important thing. I think just starting off, like I said, with what you have, using your ring light, sitting in front of a window, is great. I did order a couple of smaller ring lights that I used to have on either side of me when I first started filming. Those lights were crap, basically. They would just shut off like right when I was in the middle of filming, or one would start to flash. I got those off Amazon. I don't really recommend those lights. I don't even, they're in here somewhere. I don't know where they are. But getting caught up in the perfection aspect of it right away is really not going to be helpful to you. So I think just using what you have. If you want to go out and get yourself some things in terms of lighting, that's wonderful. But I don't think you have to do that right away. My ring light worked just fine, really. But like I said, my lighting wasn't the greatest. Anyway, after time has gone on, I think I had my channel for over a year. I did get myself a couple of softbox lights. I got those off Amazon. I will put a link to those lights in my description box. They're on either side of me right now. And that's really upped my lighting game, I would say, in my videos. And it's made what I'm doing easier to see. And I really do enjoy having them. They were about $112, which, you know, that's an expense. And I do think that as time goes on with your channel, if it's something that you're really enjoying and you're really having a good time doing it and you want to improve how things look, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting lighting systems. I know a lot of people that have done that. And if you want to start off doing that, that's totally fine too. I just think that getting used to filming, getting used to having your channel and deciding if it's something that you even want to do, because, you know, I do know people that have started filming a YouTube channel or started uploading videos and they just really didn't enjoy it. So I don't know that it makes sense to go out and spend a bunch of money until you really know that this is something that you really want to do, because you can always build as you go. You can always get better equipment and better technological stuff as you go along with your channel. I also think picking a spot in your house to film in is great, or you can change that up too. My son happened to move out shortly before, well, not shortly before, maybe a year before I think I started my channel, 6 months, something like that. And so I had a bedroom in my house that I could take over and use as my filming room. You can sit down at your kitchen counter. You can sit down on your couch. You can sit down out in your backyard. You can sit in your car, wherever you want to sit. But just have a place that you feel comfortable in where you can film. I think what most people really enjoy, as in terms of subscribers or viewers, is seeing you in your natural environment. I think that is really fun. I know I really enjoy that as a viewer. And just where you're the most comfortable. So don't put a lot of thought into, okay, what's behind me and I got to make it look perfect and I got to go out and buy 42 backgrounds and put them behind me and make sure that you don't have to do that. You can do that as time goes on, I would say, but I don't think I will ever change where I film. I really enjoy being in this space. It's very comfortable in here for me. I do film in front of a black backdrop for my true crime videos. And Kim, my Kimmy Poo from Kim's Happy Place, I'll link her channel in my description box. She mentioned that to me after she'd watched my first true crime video. She said, you know, it might be kind of better if you filmed in front of just a black background or something. She said, because I think if people are coming to your channel through your true crime and they see all this makeup and stuff behind you, they might be like, what the heck's going on here? And that was great advice, wonderful advice. And I really enjoy doing that now for my true crime videos. But, you know, I don't think it's absolutely necessary that you make your background absolutely perfect, flawless for your videos. I think just like I said, filming where you're comfortable is really cool, really fun, and you need to feel comfortable when you're filming. Absolutely. That's going to take me into my next step here. One of the things that I did when I very first started figuring out that I wanted to start a channel, after I talked with Steph, let her know that I was really seriously considering starting a channel, also after watching Annette's video, I think she even mentioned this in her video, is I practiced filming so that I could get comfortable in front of my camera. I think people think, oh, well, how hard is it? How hard is it just to sit down and start talking to a camera? It's harder than you would think, because you're by yourself. You're talking to an inanimate object, but you want to pretend in the moment like you're talking to people, right? Because people are going to watch my videos. So what I did was I would set my phone up when I was washing dishes or folding laundry or cleaning the toilet or whatever, and I would just talk to my phone. Just, hi, I'm cleaning my toilet. I'm using this product. I have this brush, and I'm sweating like a pig, and I'm going to ruin my shirt because I just got bleach all over it, you know? Just pretending like my phone was my friend and just getting very comfortable talking to my phone as a friend, so that when I was finally able to sit down and film a video, it would be a little bit more natural in appearance. Some people are just absolute naturals. The first time they sit down and film, I'm absolutely in awe of those people. But when I go back and look at my earlier videos, I'm like, oh boy, like it's not exactly who I really was. You know, I was just really nervous and felt kind of silly, and just, it took me a while to really get comfortable doing this in front of my phone, in front of the camera. And that's okay. You're not gonna like your first several videos. I mean, I would say probably my first, oh, I don't know, a big chunk of my, oh gosh, let me think. Let me like try to give you a really accurate answer here. Maybe my first 100 videos, I don't really like them, because I just don't feel like I looked like myself or sounded like myself, because I was really caught up in how I sounded and being nervous. And as time has gone on, I just don't care anymore. I've gotten a lot more comfortable, and I truly do feel fine just being myself. And so keep in mind, you're not really going to like your first several videos, or you might, who knows? But in my experience, after talking to other creators, talking to Steph, I remember Steph saying that to me when I very first started, because I had filmed my first video like 3 times to try to figure out which one I liked the best, and had my daughter watch them, my husband watch them. And I said, I just can't do this. I don't like any of my videos. And she's like, Erica, you're not going to like any of your videos for a long time because you're just not comfortable with this yet. You're not used to it. And it just takes time. It takes practice. So I do really encourage you guys, if you're thinking about starting a channel, to practice filming beforehand. Now, editing, that's another big component of having a channel. There's tons of creators on this platform that don't edit at all. There's some people who edit on their phone. There's some people who edit on a laptop. And all of those things are fine. But I do think what you need to decide is, what person are you? Are you the non-editing type? Are you the total editing type? Are you somewhere in between? And stick to that. Do not make yourself super stressed out about the technological editing aspect of having a YouTube channel. Because there are people that don't edit at all who have very successful channels. There are people that edit a ton who have very successful channels, and everywhere in between. So just be honest with yourself about who you are. I am not someone that's super tech savvy, and that was a huge stumbling block or huge obstacle in me starting my channel. And at first I thought, well, I just won't edit my videos. And I thought, well, but I do kind of want to edit them because I don't know, to me, it's just something that I wanted to do. So then I thought, okay, well, I'll edit it on my phone because I have an iPhone. iPhones, I think all iPhones come with iMovie. So I would film these little videos of myself, and then I'd go into iMovie and try to edit it. And I just could not get it to work right. I don't know. My eyesight's horrible. I was using my finger. I don't know. It was a pain. So I went to Steph and I said, hey, I need some help with editing stuff. What do you suggest? And she said, well, I use a free version of VSDC, which is obviously an editing software. There's a free version and a paid version. I think Steph does use the paid version now. I'm thinking about using the paid version too. I currently use the free version. I have since I started my channel. It's like a $20 one-time fee, so it's not like you pay it every month. But she said, I highly recommend you checking that out because it's very user-friendly and it's really good for people that aren't super tech savvy. And she turned me on to a particular creator. I think his name is Jack Lord or Jack King. I know his first name is Jack. And I'll find him and link him in my description box as well. And she said, go to his channel and watch his tutorials because they're amazing. She said, that's how I got started with VSDC. And, he just made a huge positive difference in my life in terms of editing. So I did that. Amazing creator, really helpful tutorials. And also I found a couple other people that do VSDC tutorials, and that absolutely saved my life when it came to editing because they were amazing. Now, I did have a laptop when I first got started, but I'd had it for years and it was just full of viruses. I mean, my kids had used it to do research papers. I'd played games on it, like Double Solitaire and whatever else. And I don't think we had any virus protection on it. So that sucker went down the tubes real quick. So I thought, well, I can't really use that to edit on. So I did go and buy myself a new laptop, which was really hard for me to do because I'm single mom, have been most of my kids' lives. And so spending that kind of money on myself was not easy. But I will say, I'm so happy that I went and made that purchase because it's made such a huge difference, such a big game changer in my editing process. So I just went and got the laptop. I had my daughter come over here and help me put the VSDC software on my computer because I was nervous I wouldn't do it right. And then once I got it up and running, I basically just pulled up the tutorials about VSDC on my phone, set that right down next to me, and then I just followed the instructions. I, had some videos that I'd filmed, just kind of silly videos of myself that didn't matter, and I just went in and followed the instructions about how to edit, how to, take little pieces out if I didn't want those in there anymore, how to do fade ins, fade outs, how to do transitions, which is like the, page turn or the, the stuff comes up and then it flips me to the next scene. And it was really easy. I could not believe it. Now, I don't do all of the things that my editing software would allow me to do. I just do the very bare minimum. But even the free version of VSDC has a ton of functions, a ton of different options you can use. It's amazing. So if you're thinking about being someone that edits, There's tons of editing softwares out there, but I would say VSDC is amazing. And because of the fact that there's so many tutorials on YouTube about how to use it, I highly recommend checking it out. I've heard people say, well, you know, I would edit, but I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to take classes on editing. I don't really think you need to go and spend money on taking classes to learn how to edit. If you want to do that, that's fine. But like I said, there's just so many tutorials out there that are really user-friendly. I mean, really. And you can do it in real time. You know what I mean? You're not just watching somebody doing something and then trying to go back and do it yourself. You're doing it along with them. If you set it up the way that I set it up, it was just amazing. So happy that Steph turned me on to VSDC. It's an amazing software. And I also think that it's really important when you start your YouTube channel to have realistic goals in mind. I think sometimes when people start a YouTube channel, they really believe that they're going to be the next best thing here on this platform. This is a very finicky platform. It's a very competitive platform. It can be very drama ridden. And sometimes I think our best laid plans don't always come to fruition. And I think that if you have realistic goals in mind, as in terms of like your filming schedule, you know, your subscriber count, just I don't know what you want to do on your channel. I think that's really important. It's also very healthy. I think sometimes when people have out of whack expectations of what's going to happen when they start a YouTube channel, it burns them out and then they don't enjoy it anymore. And the really main thing that I really want to emphasize here in having a YouTube channel is to have fun and to do what you're passionate about. I wouldn't go into this thinking that in 6 months to a year, you're going to quit your job and just do YouTube full time. Sure, that might happen for you. It very well may. But that percentage is pretty small of that happening for people here on this platform. And it's so important to be yourself. I think that we can all be our own worst critics. I know I am definitely my own worst critic. And it's really hard for me to, like, when I'm editing, hear the sound of my own voice. I can't stand that. It's gotten better since I started, but it's still really difficult for me to listen to my own voice. I'm just like, oh, I can't stand it. And I do think a lot of us get caught up in the perfection aspect of having a channel. I don't think that most people really want to see perfection. There are some people that do want to see that. And I don't think that they're subscribed to my channel because I'm far from perfect. I'm totally dorky. I make mistakes all the time. I get tongue-tied. I do edit out some of that stuff, but a lot of my mistakes I just keep in my video. I do. So a lot of things I edit out are just my blending process because sometimes I feel like I'm not talking and it gets kind of boring. I know some people really like to see all that. And I'm trying to kind of play with that a little bit, you know, maybe have more of that in my videos. Like some videos are longer, some videos are shorter. Just trying to have different type content, different varied content. But I think it's so important that you are who you are on your channel. Don't get caught up in what you think everyone else expects for you to do or what everyone expects for you to say or be or look like. Be yourself, period. And I'm going to share just a little story with you guys here about being yourself. I can remember when Marina and I, I'll link her channel in my description box too. When we first met, she found my channel somehow and she commented on one of my videos. And it was such a kind, loving comment that I, you know, obviously responded to it. And then I thought, who is this person? So I clicked on her little icon and I saw that she had a channel. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I watched a couple of her videos and they were amazing. So good. Marina is so talented and her voice is so soothing. But I noticed that she hadn't filmed in like, I don't know, a couple of months. And so I went back to where she commented on my video and I said, hey, I noticed that you have a channel. That's awesome. I subscribed to you. But I've noticed that you haven't filmed in a while. Why is that? And she shared with me, and she shared this on her channel too, so I'm not betraying a confidence here. She shared with me that I think it was a coworker of hers or a friend, somebody had put her down for her content because she doesn't edit and a couple other things. Maybe I can't remember exactly what the story was, but I was so pissed. I'm like, I don't care what that person says. Get your butt back on your channel and keep filming videos because you're amazing, Marina. And, you know, I don't know if I'm the sole person that got her back to filming again, but she did start filming again. And I was so thrilled. And it just made me really kind of stop and take a minute to really think about that outside influences can really play a big role on someone's decision to have a channel or to keep going with the channel. Do not listen to any of that. If you're having a good time and you're enjoying what you're doing and you want to keep going, keep going. Start the channel, keep it going. Start the channel and keep it going. That's my mantra. Just go for it. Who cares what anybody else says? I've had criticisms about my channel. Yeah, that, I do too many collab videos, or I talk too much about my personal life, or I'm an idiot for doing Mask Mondays or group collabs or whatever it is. Okay, fine. You guys can think that people can say that, whatever they want to say. I don't care. It's not going to stop me from filming. So, like I said, I know I've said this a bunch. I always repeat myself. If you're having fun and enjoying yourself, go for it, and don't change who you are for any reason. Be yourself. That's really what people want to see. They really want to see who you are. Mistakes, everybody makes them. So make mistakes on your channel. Don't edit out every single mistake you make. Don't edit out every single tongue-tied moment, or you said the wrong palette name, or whatever it is. Just keep some of that stuff in. You don't have to keep it all in if you don't want to. I mean, some of the stuff I take out because I have like a coughing fit, or I'll sneeze and blow snot all over my my mirror. Done that a couple times. Gross. But keep as much of who you are in your videos. People love that. Filming schedule is another thing. I don't really have a filming schedule. I just film when I have time, edit when I have time, and put my videos up. I do try to have about, at least 2 videos a week. Sometimes I don't have that many. Sometimes I have 3 or 4. Just kind of depends. If you want to be someone that does a filming schedule, do that too. You know what I mean? I would say try to organize things as much as you can so it doesn't seem super daunting. I have a ton of lists of videos I want to film. I think list making is very fun. I don't always stick to my list, but I think lists are good to help kind of like organize your thoughts. Take notes if you want to do that. I did that for this video, but I don't typically take notes for my videos just because I try to I do quite a lot of thinking about what I want to say for quite a while before I start film my video. But, take notes. I would say stay away from being super scripted, however, because I do think that super scripted videos sometimes can come off as, I don't know, just not genuine. And I think, like I said, people really want to see the genuine you. But lists, notes, whatever it takes to keep you organized and to keep you on track for filming, I say go for that too. Make it as easy for yourself as you possibly can. So those are really, I think, all of my tips for this video today about starting a channel. I also think that if you are close with the creator and you feel comfortable talking to them about starting a channel, ask. If you want to ask me about starting a channel, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about that. More than happy to help you out with that. I think utilizing the resources around you is very important. I know maybe sometimes people feel kind of intimidated or nervous to do that, but don't be. I think most of us are very willing to share with you how we got started, what works for us, what doesn't work for us, and keep in mind that we're all different, and so what works for me may not work for you. But I'm totally willing to give advice or to give help when I can to anyone that's thinking about starting a channel. I would love to do that. So feel free to ask away in the comment section if you're interested in learning more. I mean, there's a lot of other things I could have touched on in this video, but those are just like kind of the main things. Just have fun. Do what you want, do what you're passionate about, and have a great time. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. Love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video, but in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.